So in Nick Cannon's Our Plus podcast, he and Griffin contended that black people are the true Hebrews and that Jews have usurped their identity. Why would I side with Nick Cannon who said this? Let's look at a map. This map is from Complete System of Geography, whatever, Emmanuel Bowen, London, 1747. All right. And this is Library of Congress, LOC.gov, a new and accurate map of Negro land. Black land, all right? So who's calling these people Negro? They're calling these people black, all right? And showing the principal European settlements, all right? So this is a European map made by Europeans to show European settlements, all right, in Negro land, so the black lands. So showing the land of the black people, so-called black people that they called black. Why? Because they were darker than them, right? So in these settlements, it has the Tooth Coast, so where you get ivory and stuff from. It has the Gold Coast, where they went to get gold. And look, it has Kingdom of Acanis here. Kingdom of Aslante or Inta, right? So it got some kingdoms here. Slave Coast. Kingdom of Judah. So they were Jews here. The Kingdom of Judah in the Bight of Benin. So this is Benin. It's now called Wuda. This is Guinea, right? This is the Gold Coast. This is the west coast of Africa. And what was going on the west coast of Africa? People were enslaved. They were getting slaves from the west coast of Africa, specifically the Kingdom of Judah. Does it say that? Like, I'm not making stuff up, right? It's right here, Kingdom of Judah or Wuda, Slave Coast. Get slaves here, right? Sure, that's not the only place they were getting slaves, but this is the west coast of Africa, Kingdom of Judah, all right? So how did the Jews get here, all right? So Kingdom of Judah, also spelled Wuda, Ajuda, Wida, which is what it's called today if you look on the map. Wida, and Judah, right? So how did they get there? So we know Israel being up here, but we are taught this in school about the Roman Jerusalem War. So this is the war against the Jews by the Romans. And what happened? They were going in there, stealing the Jews' gold, right? Cutting people up, right? So, what would you do in a time of war? You got refugees. We still see this today. And during times of war, people flee, all right? Where do they go? So they wouldn't stay up here. Some people stayed, of course. Of course, some people stay. Some people went west, all right? Some went North Africa, all of this is North Africa, but some people went across the top of Africa, right? Some people went to where? West Africa, right? Just showed you that on the map. Kingdom of Judah, right down here, Guinea, right? And inside this map, this is in Princeton, princeton.edu. So if you don't like what I'm saying, this is Negrita, right? Black land, again. Who's making this map? People calling another group black, right? And here, let me see, get closer. I'll get closer if I can. According to Idrisi, the land hereabout was peopled by the Jews. So here, this map is 1766. According to Idrisi, the land here was peopled by the Jews, during Idrisi's time. Idrisi is a old Moor. I'm a Moor. Ancient nationality, Morocco. You got in Africa, you say it's Mauritania, right? Land of the Moors. Morocco, also land of the Moors, pretty much, right? So the land was named after the people there, right? Not the other way around. So people were named after the people there. So these were Moorish lands, right? So he was a Spanish geographer, cartographer, and Egyptologist. that lived in the 1000s, all right, or the year 1100. So, and he said that the Jews were here. So this is about 1,000 years after Jesus, or 1,100 years after the time of Jesus, about 1,100 years after the Roman Jerusalem wars, all right, when they were here. So 1,000 years, of course they moved, they're here. And then later, said they were people by the Jews. Later, they're here, all right, on the west coast of Africa. And what happened on the west coast of Africa? I already showed you. People were enslaved, taken to America. But just like I showed you the Philippines, African people, or so-called black people, were called black people because that's what people called you. That's not what you called yourself. Sometimes we call ourselves Cherokee, or what we now know as Cherokee, Taino. These are all names. It's so in depth. The names that were given to us, Black, African American, all these other names that we don't know who we are. And that's the key to this. That's the point, is that we've been called so many names, and we now go by a color, that we don't know who we are and where we came from. And then when we tie ourselves back and we say people who now call themselves, or people who are now classified as black, we say that they're the Jews, which they were, or you say that they were the Native Americans, which they were, because people went around calling everybody black. People now say that you're lying. So that's the problem, is European ancestors went around calling everyone the same name. And then when they say, or when they tie themselves back to where they came from, they're called a liar. Nick Cannon was not anti-Semitic. He was not lying. He was telling the truth and tying himself back and tying us back to our history. So that's why I side with Nick Cannon.